Everyone to our undergraduate webinar. I'm Andrea Thomas, and I'm the Assistant Dean of Undergraduate Studies at the Eccles School of Business. And we thought that we'd start out today giving you some information on all of the great things that our BLinc organization, Business Leaders Incorporated, which is our student government here at the Eccles School of Business. They have a lot of both virtual and in-person things planned. And so the CEO of BLinc is Ainu Kaufusi, and I want to introduce her, and she's going to take you through some of the plans that they have when you get back to school. If you can believe it, next week is when those of you moving into dorms start moving in. And so we're really excited. It's been a long time since we've been together, so we're very excited. So I want to invite Ainu to walk you through some of the things that they've got planned, and then I'll come back with some information, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. And to ask a question, you can go to the Q&A buttons below, or you can do it in the chat. So whatever works best for you. So Ainu, are you there and ready? Excellent. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Andrea, and thank you, Sheena, as well as Kathy, for really hosting these resources and fall webinars for students. We know this information and updates are vital amidst a pandemic, and so just want to say thank you on behalf of BLinc. Hello, everyone. Like Andrea mentioned, my name is Ainu Kaufusi, and I'm here representing my BLinc board and many programs and things that we have to offer students. We're really here to support you throughout this fall semester. And like Andrea mentioned, we have a lot of virtual opportunities, as well as a few ongoing opportunities for some in-person connections, with keeping in mind socially distant practices. So in essence, we're really here to enhance our experience, and that might look different for everyone. We really want to bring renewal commitment to diversity and inclusion to life through our You Belong Here campaign this semester, and host that through all our programming and the resources that we provide for students. If folks haven't already registered for the Eccles Welcome, this will be held virtually via Zoom on Friday, August 14th from 12 to 1 p.m. And we will provide all these resources and links to the registration forms that you can sign up for. And then some upcoming opportunities for folks to be aware of is we have bagels and welcome kits held through the week, August 24th to the 27th from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. And the BLinc board will provide individually wrapped bagels, as it's a part of our annual tradition, and be able to distribute these bagels and stay socially distant with social distant measures in place.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. We're getting a lot of static noise through your connection, so I'm wondering if it might be easier to call in or something, or just find a different way so that we can hear what you're saying, because I know you're sharing really great information. We just want to make sure everyone can hear you.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay.
While Ainu is fixing her sound, I just want to remind you that we have a place on the website where all of this information is aggregated together, and I'll talk a little bit more about it after Ainu finishes. But if you go to eccles.link/fall2020, there's announcements of all of the activities and everything that's going on for you to engage in either virtually or in person this fall. Now, obviously, some things don't translate virtually, like the bagels that we do the first week of class are very hard to send over Zoom, but there's other things that work really, really well virtually. So those are all listed. And then also there's lots and lots of opportunities to get involved with clubs. And so those are going to also be listed on eccles.link/fall2020. And there's lots of things coming the first couple of weeks of school for you to sign up for clubs and go to the first meetings and things like that. And so those will be there as well. And then one of the other things that we're really excited about is that we've really tried to connect with the entire Eccles School community, which includes faculty, staff, and alumni, to create opportunities for students to engage in their new community when they come back to school. And so there's going to be a place, we're currently working with alumni to have them sign up for Eccles engagements. So it's called Eccles Engagement, and you can sign up for events that the alumni, the faculty, and the staff are offering. So it'll be for, some of them will be for just a couple students, some will be for more students, some will be, there will be multiple opportunities. So there's lots of different things that, that we're getting together, and all of that you can sign up for if you go to eccles.link/fall2020. And then the things that Ainu's talking about are on the calendar that we have there as well. So that's always a good place to go to get additional information. So Ainu, I don't know if you're back and ready. I can take some questions if you're not. So Ainu, whenever you get your sound back, just pop back in with your picture, and then I'll stop the Q&A and then start it up again after you're finished. So one of the things that Ainu was mentioning was that tomorrow we have our Eccles Welcome webinar at noon, and you can still sign up for that. And we're going to have a lot of, it's a panel discussion, a lot of information. Our Dean, Taylor Randall's going to be there. And so that'll be a really great opportunity to start to get to know him. So that's tomorrow at noon, and you can go to the website to sign up for that. And some of the things, some of the details that we're working on of the Eccles engagement, we've just opened it up for our alumni in this week for our alumni to sign up for things. And we already have things on here like golf with the dean. We've got an alumni who lives in New York City who is going to host a Zoom session to learn about careers in finance in New York. So there's just lots of really great things that are going to be happening both virtually and outside. At least while the weather's nice, we have lots of opportunities for hiking and golfing and doing outdoor things as well. So Ainu, do you want to try? Okay, well, and I'll come back and finish after Ainu's done.
Sorry, folks. I appreciate just hanging in there. So I'll just kind of go back over some of the back to school pieces that we're excited to share. So we will have, like Andrea mentioned, the welcome back bagels, and those will be prepared for folks, individually wrapped and socially distant measures in place. And it'll be a chance to get to know some of our upcoming programming and events, as well as meeting some of our BLinc board members. You'll also be able to see or pick up some welcome kits for our incoming students, and we'll be sure to have those prepared for those in the Business Scholars Program and the Office of Student Inclusion Programs as well. Just to kind of give another piece that we wanted to share with folks, we traditionally host the Party on the Plaza this year. Unfortunately, we can't do that in the same traditional way, but we will have Party on the Plazoom. And it'll be from August 31st to September 2nd. And like Andrea mentioned, we'll be able to provide the links where you can see all of these upcoming events, as well as being able to register for them. We will have inclusion-based leadership trainings, and we'll have 3 of those each semester. And so I encourage folks to participate in those trainings and learn more about allyship for many of our communities at the university, as well as in general. We also will have business social hours, and many of those hours will be held virtually or in person. For example, we would have socially distant hikes or different activities for students to participate in. And then we will host BLinc office hours for students, where you can come and ask us questions, and these events will be held virtually, and those will be provided on our events calendar. We will have business student council meetings, which is an open forum for you as students to learn about upcoming engagement opportunities and share feedback around your Eccles experience. And those will be held virtually too with our ASU senator and different representatives from our BLinc board team. Again, you can find these on our website. Those are some upcoming events for this August. And I strongly encourage everyone to follow us on social media through Instagram. Our Instagram for BLinc is @Eccles_BLinc. And I encourage that because this is one of our main forms of communication regarding some of our upcoming events, opportunity drawings that you can participate in, get to know Eccles community highlights and some updates, as well as future programming. And I'm really excited to connect with all of you and for you to meet our team. We've been working really hard this summer to bring some high touch points with students and encourage you to take advantage of some of these opportunities to learn and grow. So that's all I have, and we'll be sure to have those links ready for you. And thank you. I'll turn the time back over to Andrea.
Thanks, Ainu. I know they've been working really, really hard. Ainu has a fabulous board that helps her in BLinc. And so they've done just a really, really great job. So there are other opportunities as well that I wanted to mention. So there is a Eccles online learning resources that are available to students. And it covers things like Zoom and Zoom etiquette, online learning, some of the student ID support options and other resources that are available to you. And it's really nice when you get on campus just to see how much is available to help you be successful. We are so committed to being there for you to help with student success, and there's lots of resources available. There has been a question on whether or not the session tomorrow, the Eccles Welcome, will be recorded, and that will be recorded, and then we can just post it on the eccles.link/fall 2020. So if you aren't available between 12 and 1 tomorrow, you can still be able to read that. And then the course I was telling you about, the Eccles online learning resource, it's actually a course in Canvas. And so we're going to put the link for that Canvas course also on eccles.link/fall 2020. So you can click into that, and if that's something that you're interested in learning more about, you can go and take that Canvas course. And it's just a really good idea at the beginning of the semester to try to learn what the resources are, but there's lots of ways that you can ask questions once you get here also, and we can help you find those resources. We have Kathy Hajeb here, and she's been appearing on these webinars to talk about housing. So she not only teaches in our B Corps, but she also coordinates Lassonde and housing. And we're just days away from having students, Kathy. So I know that that's exciting for everybody that you're working with. So do you have any updates for us?
I'm just excited to be here, and I'll tell you, we've got students that have moved in. So our resident advisors, our student RAs, have moved into campus housing. So each student that is living on campus this fall should be pretty clear on what their move-in time is and also what their COVID testing time is. So all students that'll come to campus that live with us prior to moving in will stop by for a COVID test. Make sure you bring a driver's license, your student ID number, and then from there you'll go ahead and move to your respective student housing building and move in. We're just excited to have everybody come. It's been a long summer. We've missed students. So if there's any specific questions, feel free to pop them in the chat and I can drop back if you've got questions specifically about housing. We're just excited to see you. I'll tell you, our buildings have never been cleaner. We are just really excited to have you guys come back.
Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, new protocols on all the buildings, so they're getting cleaned all the time, which is amazing. So I had a question in the Q&A about business scholars, and there is still time to join Business Scholars, but you have to hurry because next week is when we start orientation. So if you go to eccles.utah.edu, then you can look in programs and see business scholars there, and there will be a link to hurry and fill out an application. So it's different if you haven't applied to the U, then you apply while you do it. Since you're already into the U, you can quickly apply, and you need to write an essay, and there's a prompt right there, and then just give us your unit and a little bit of information, and then we can look into that and get you added to the program. And so if you have any trouble at all, you can, there's a chat function if you go to eccles.link/fall 2020, and then you can ask a chat question and they can give you the link directly, or we have a lot of the business scholars ambassadors managing as well as the BLinc board, they're managing the chat function as well, so they can help you there. Now, Kathy, can you talk a little bit about testing? I know for housing, all students need to do testing before they can move in their housing. So can you talk about that? And then do you know, once they get moved in, if they want to go for testing, the best way to do that as well?
So all of the students that have got a reservation to live on campus should have all of these details in their university email. So I encourage you to look there. I can tell you the physical location for the COVID testing will be at the campus guest house, which is in Fort Douglas. So it's up east of Mario Capecchi Drive, and each student is given a specific time to come for COVID testing, and they will have had to register so that you'll pull into the parking lot, they'll text or call the student, give them directions to come in. So the COVID testing is at the university guest house, and then from there the student moves to their respective building to move in. Once you're on campus, if for whatever reason you're not feeling well, absolutely self-report through the COVID website for the University of Utah. And then the Madsen Health Clinic that is here on campus, it's on Mario Capecchi Drive, is the student health location that you would stop by for any kind of testing that you needed to do once you arrived on campus, or for any other medical support.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Kathy. Now, I have a couple of questions also about business scholars and scholarships for this fall starting now. That scholarship window has closed, but every year at the Eccles School, there are opportunities for students to apply for scholarships. And so we'll be able to give you more information. That happens in the spring for the next fall. I also wanted to make sure that I reinforce the frequently asked questions sections that we have. So every time we get a question and it's not on the webinar, it's from somewhere else, we update our frequently asked questions. And so you can go to eccles.link/fall 2020 and click into the FAQ section. And all of these questions are going to be answered that we know about. And then there's going to be links included. So I mentioned that course that you can take on Canvas. Well, the link to that course is in the FAQs. And then I'm getting a couple of questions about specific classes, like can I take an honors version of this class? So the best thing to do to figure that out is to reach out to your academic advisor. Most of you have already had appointments with your academic advisors. We also have peer advisors, and they're available, and they know a lot about things along the lines of classes and how classes sequence and those types of things. And so you can reach out to a peer advisor or an academic advisor. And if you go to our website, there's chat with the academic advising team as well, and they can answer those questions. There's also, BLinc has a web page if you want to go check and just see everything that BLinc's doing. If you want a little bit more detail, that's eccles.link/BLinc, which is BLINC, and that stands for Business Leaders Incorporated, and that's our student government of the Eccles School. So I'm going into the QA. So the way that we have been thinking about these webinars is it's a great opportunity when you're not on campus to ask questions as you're preparing to come to campus. But since next week, there's a lot of orientations and move-ins and then schools starting, we're not going to do these webinars anymore, but there's still many, many ways for you to get your questions answered. And so there's going to be information tomorrow in the webinar, and then you can watch that on the website. We're constantly updating the website, eccles.link/fall 2020. We've started this. We had a summer site, we'll have a spring 2021 site, but there's so much information on the Eccles website that this is just a way that we're organizing it to help you be able to click in and get more information. So that's a great resource. And then we're gonna have our academic advising. You can get a virtual appointment. And so that's a great way to get questions answered. Many of you who are in the Business Scholars Program are gonna have your Eccles ambassadors that you can ask. And then we'll be back on campus next week with you. And so the offices are gonna start to open up. And so there's lots of ways that you can reach out. If you are going to be doing your classes remotely or aren't on campus all the time, you can also sign up for just going in and asking questions, or if it's a business career services question, there's all sorts of resources in each of the different programs. So you can sign up for virtual appointments to ask those questions. And so the questions, so if your academic advisor isn't available to meet until after school starts, and you need more help, then you can go ahead and send an email to them and ask that question as well. Or the peer advisor, talk again to that peer advisor and ask specifically what questions that they need to go get the answer to from the academic advisors, because we always have somebody in the advising office there to help the peer advisors who are helping students. And so it's really hard for us in these public forums to ask very specific questions because you have to kind of go back and look. And so that's the best way to go and do that. And then the office, if you're on campus, you will be able to walk into the advising office. We're being super, super careful about keeping everybody safe. And so you'll be wearing masks, and sometimes the offices, there might be a place on the outside of the office telling you where to go to sign up for some things virtually as well. So I'm looking again at questions. So I think I've answered the questions for today. I just want to finish by just saying how important it is for us that you have a great experience. We know that it's going to look different than in prior years. We know how sad it is not to be able to be with the Muss and watch football games this fall. Trust me, we're all devastated about that. But it just shows how important student health is. And so we are doing everything we possibly can. I can't even tell you the number of hours that I've spent meeting with everyone across campus, with faculty, with staff, to just come up with ways that we can make everybody safe. And so we're excited to have you. I think some of the things that we're doing a little bit differently this year, we're gonna love them and wanna do them in future years. For example, this Eccles engagement, that idea came from just really wanting to have people able to build their community in smaller ways, because we can't have as many people come together. And it's pretty awesome to have alumni from across the country or the world offering to spend time with students and being able to have a very simple way to make that connection and sign up for it. And then the other thing that just came out of this time was us focusing our communication for students and making it easier for you while students were remote. That was something that we had to do that we'll keep doing because it's making a lot of sense. So just want to let you know that we're excited to have you come. It's going to be a great semester. The faculty has been preparing and they're ready. We've got new technology in the classrooms. We've got microphones. There's really cool technology using your phones to allow you to speak. So everybody can hear. And I will mention that when you go on to your syllabus on Canvas, you'll get specific information from each of your professors, but the way that the Eccles School is splitting the classes, so where you're gonna go, because the in-person classes, we've had to do a 50-50 split. And so if you were born in January, March, May, July, September, November, then you'll be going on Monday or Tuesday. The months I didn't mention, which are actually the even months, so February, April, June, August, October, and December, you're going to be going on Wednesday and Thursday. So that's for the Eccles School. Occasionally, there's going to be a class that has a little different arrangement than that because it didn't turn out equal, or maybe they're doing a 2/3, 1/3 split, or they've set you up in teams. So you will be able to find that out on your Canvas course, and then that will take you, that'll tell you exactly when you're going. When you do come to class, we have seating charts. You will be assigned a seat that you need to be in for the whole semester. The reason that we're doing that is so that we can do contact tracing in the event that somebody gets sick. So we have consolidated contact tracing so that we will let you know if somebody sitting in your vicinity is sick, and so we'll be able to look that all up. So each of your professors are going to be submitting their seating charts, and they'll have one for each of the days. So they'll have, like, if it's a Monday, Wednesday class, they'll have a seating chart for Monday and for Wednesday. So those will all get set the first week of class. Normally in a semester, if you want to add a class, you come and you attend the class, but that's not going to be possible this semester. So if you're wanting to waitlist for a class, then you can email the professor and they'll give you instructions, or talk to your academic advisor and they'll give you instructions. You have 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of class. That's when we get schedules set. We have been opening new sections of certain classes depending on the sizes, so you can always check back. And also what happens is students who are waitlisting for classes might be dropping classes. So as you go into the first couple of weeks of class, you can constantly check back the registration and see if there's seats opened up in different sections. So just wanted to kind of review some of those things. So there's a question about if you have a health condition that you're concerned about with either the corona or COVID-19 or maybe wearing of a mask, then every class is going to be accessible in a virtual format. So if you don't want to be in class, you can take each of the classes virtually. And so you just need to talk to your instructor about that, which you can send an email to do that. There's also, if you have some sort of a health condition that you want to get an ADA, which is the American with Disabilities Act accommodation, then you should reach out to the ADA office here on campus, and then they can either talk to you about an accommodation or make a recommendation that you take classes online. So they're happy to help you with that, and we recognize that there's going to be days we're telling students, even if you have a scratchy throat and you don't know why you have a scratchy throat, stay home, take your class that day online, and go get tested, or you can go to the health systems. There's a lot of places that you can go either on campus or up at the hospital to get tested and find out. So we're being very, very careful so that we can keep everybody healthy. Credit, no credit was something that was offered in spring and summer. The normal grading system is going to be in place for fall. There's been a lot more time to prepare. The reason spring and summer it was offered is because of the transition. And so now the normal grading policy is going to apply. Now, in some cases, credit, no credit can be an option, but if you're going to take prerequisites of classes or major classes, you just have to go and look at the regulations there. You've got some time to make that decision, but it is reverting back to our normal grading policy, not the grading policy that was in place for spring and summer. And you can always ask questions from your academic advisor about that, or go to the FAQ questions, and there's more information there as well. So I'm looking, and okay, so I'm just going to clarify one thing I said about the birth month. So if you're an odd birthday, so the months that are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, then if you have a Monday, Wednesday class, you just go on Monday. If you have a Tuesday, Thursday class, then you'll go on Tuesday. So you'll be going to classes on Monday or Tuesday. If you're in the even months and you have a Monday, Wednesday class, you'll go to class on Wednesday. And if you have a Tuesday, Thursday class, you'll go to class on Thursday. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you, and it will also be written down in the syllabus so that you can go and you can look. So Sheena, do you have clarification for me? Because you're working on those. Did I get that wrong?
No, you got it right. I just wanted to add, when Andrea says you go to class on those days, it means that you attend in person on those days, and then you would Zoom in or do virtual class on the opposite day. So if you're in class on Monday, then you're virtual on Wednesday. So it doesn't mean you get half as much as instruction. It just means you have half as much instruction in person, and then the other half is virtual.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Sheena is a professor, Kathy's a professor, I'm a professor, and sometimes there's so much information right now. So you need to attend class every day. You are either attending in person or attending online, and the way that you signed up for your class will tell you how it is. So hybrid is the half in person, half online. IVC is when you're going to be attending online synchronously, so at the same time as your class period. And then if you take a course that's called online, then we call that asynchronous, and you'll have assignments due every week, but there's not a particular hour or day that you have to be zoomed in to do those assignments. So Kathy, anything to add to that?
Could this be any more confusing? I just want to empathize with everybody, those of us that are teaching these classes, everyone who's taking these classes. My best tip for success is there's always exceptions. Faculty members are making sure that every seat is filled, everyone is safe. So when in doubt, just check your Canvas course, because those instructors will tell you specifically where to log in to Zoom with the Zoom link and whether to come in person or not.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And then I mentioned it before, but I just want to reiterate, for adding classes, if you want to add to an in-person class, do not show up in that class in person. Email the instructor. So we can't just attend a class and see if there's going to be an opening, because we've got to do the to do all of the seating charts and kind of just know where everybody is. So just send an email to your instructor, to that instructor. You can get everybody's emails on the website, eccles.utah.edu. If you just go to the directory, the emails of all your instructors are going to be there. If you can't find one, then you can just email that office, so the administrative assistant in that office, or talk to your academic advisor. Okay. And then some of normally if you would go and hope to run into a professor or go meet with them in their office, there's a lot of that happening virtually. And so sometimes there's just a Zoom link that professors will have for questions. And so that information they'll make really clear in the syllabus for all the best ways to get in touch with people. Okay. Excellent. So I'm just going to double check that I've answered all the questions, and this is your last chance. If I haven't answered a question, then you can ask it in the Q&A button. And like I said, it's not your last opportunity. We aren't doing these webinars anymore, but there's many, many other tools that you will have and ability to ask questions, and just go to eccles.link/fall 2020 and you'll see the chat function, and then you'll see the FAQs, which will click you into a lot of different places that you can go. So, great. So if you have no other questions, I just want to tell you, super excited to have you on campus. Good luck with all the last minute details getting ready to move. I think we're just going to have a really great semester, and I appreciate your engagement and being part of the Eccles School. So thank you.